Hello, we are talking today. Let's get us all situated here. We are talking today about the Yin Yang of Man or mankind. We are talking about the shift in awareness, the shift in consciousness. Consciousness being the space of everything and the way we can what level of awareness we can kind of connect with, which is kind of through that connection is how we can see ourselves. The more open, the more we are connected to the higher our awareness of consciousness, the more at peace we can be, the more we can realize the flow that is intrinsic in every situation. So we, of course, can find the flow of different things and start feeling more connected with our people, with our partners, with our kids, our parents, with life, with different cultures, with our body. So this is really where we are kind of shifting now. It's kind of a big shift. We had a retreat this weekend, and these retreats kind of helps us to shift consciousness, shifts level of awareness of consciousness, and it kind of helps to see what we are bringing in, what we can have as our natural place. We can easily see ourselves just as our body, as our gender, our color, our nationality, our culture, our parents, our family, a big brother or little sister, or a wife or husband, or part of sorority or society, different groups. Or we can kind of move beyond that and start listening to the grander flow of things. So that is kind of the potential to kind of start getting takeoff. So that's what we're doing retreats or in these talks. It's a takeoff, daring to kind of grow higher, to take off higher, and to kind of come higher. It is kind of what Jesus did when he connected more with forgiveness and connectedness. He took the general standing, and he showed a potential of kind of connecting both heaven and earth and become more the spiritual beings, the spiritual person, the man of spirit, the mankind of the evolved man. So we have this potential, and now it's kind of coming back that the masculine can sometimes be just the being or the focus of God, and the female can be more the magic of earth and life. And when we can bring these two together, that is where a spiritual being can come, and we can kind of start integrating. The female can also integrate God, and the masculine can also integrate magic. So both, we don't need to be separate as our, at some levels, different genders and different colors, and they have whole different energies, but as it heightens, then we can hold more energies, and we can become more aware of the bigger picture, and we can hold energies both inside our body and outside our body. So then in that dance, things kind of step into a whole new ball game. So that's kind of truly the miracle that we are stepping into, the miracle of the future, the miracle of more retreats coming, this summer, hopefully, maybe the first weekend in January. We'll see what happens. And in Chicago and America too, and online. So there's this new flow, there's this new teaching of life, there's this new potential to keep going beyond that which we have been and into a greater union of man. And that is where we can see that whether you're male, female, whatever color, nationality you have, you can kind of move beyond that and into the greatness of mankind, the greatness of consciousness, creating that life that is spirit, and let being or God kind of come in, and that we are both. We are both the God mind, and we are both the magic of life, the magic of creation. So we are creating this new potential, and that's why we have these talks. We kind of open up so that we can starting getting and drenched in this wisdom, drenched in this potential, so that we can dare to let go of the troubles and the worries, and dare to kind of see the bigger picture. So that's why we have these talks, so that we can kind of start bringing in the glory. There's truly a gloriful time for mankind, where we kind of move out of this pandemic, and we're all been rattled, tested to see how we can hold our ground in a time of tension, a time of fear, a time of challenge, a time of emotional distress, a time of physical distress, a time of mental distress. And to kind of dare to flow, there's even a flow there. There's even an ease in all these things. So that is, but it won't necessarily be there unless you dare to kind of open to it. So that is what we are doing. We're opening to the flow. We're opening to the ease. We're opening our arms and letting it in. So that's kind of the purpose of these talks, to kind of be a reminder that in the moment you open yourself, your physical body, your emotions, your mind up, and your spirit, and then more flow, more ease, more joy, more comfort comes in, even when we don't necessarily expect it. It is something that is so natural that we don't even know why it's happening. It's so natural that we can't plan it. We have to trust in it. That is the trust that I'm bringing. That is a trust that I dare you to open up to dare to receive, to join in on this journey, to dare to open to this new teaching. This new teaching, you can see this is Jesus 2.0, the new teachings of humanity, the new teachings of ease, of mankind, of joy, of peacefulness, of having heaven on earth. So that is what we're bringing here. Wow, I talked fast. Felt like time warped here a little bit. Felt like we talked for half an hour. So that's the beauty of these talks, that things sometimes 5 minutes can feel like an hour, and sometimes half an hour can feel like 5 minutes. Sometimes our computers, our phones, everything kind of disconnects, and energy is moving, and sometimes we just fall asleep. So let's take this time, and for you who kind of came with me to the retreat, it's fun to see you guys coming in. This is kind of a settling in after retreat. It's kind of letting it kind of come in. Today felt so divine. We had like this beautiful uh, lights out there. The sun kind of suddenly was like magic coming on earth. It was like all these different colors, this energy shimmering through the sun, through the clouds in the forest, and it literally shows what we're kind of opening up to. So today felt like a very clear day. We're kind of literally kind of creating the container, and we're kind of setting the dates for the next retreat, as we're kind of every retreat kind of brings us closer and heightens us, just like these talks are here to heighten us and to kind of remind us to just keep flowing and to enjoy. Like I've been doing for 20 years, and I keep doing, and keeps becoming more magical as time goes by. And we removed our Christmas tree, so we got the star and we got the lights, kind of like lights up here and lights on the ground. So it's like heaven and earth. It's the perfect balance. So let's let it sink in. If you're already in bed or sinking back in your chair or in the bathtub or in the shower or wherever you are, just bring this beauty, this awareness, this love, this acceptance in. And it's literally like we're kind of opening up. We have kind of focused on consciousness, the being, but we also need the body that kind of is the container that we can let the fire that we have inside, we can dare to break down the bust down the walls so that the fire can have more air, so it can keep breathing more. We can open the windows so it keeps breathing. In a closed container, the fire will be suffocated. So we kind of need to open the windows there, to open, take them down. And in that space, the body becomes like water. We can let the water in, the density of energy. And it can take over the flames in such a way that the flame goes underwater. It becomes just this coal underneath, this bubbles of heat, creating gas, creating air. And it actually creates this momentum of life, kind of the water, the fog, the snow, the rain comes down like it has done for the last week or two. And in that space, it kind of opens up, creates this vacuum where we kind of, when it clears, suddenly the wind comes in. We are connected to all the elements. That is where our body are, all the elements, and we're like the fifth element, which is the spirit. So let's bring the energy down. And you close your eyes if you will, or if you may. Yeah, and let the breath come in. Breath is like the air, just the gas, just a release of. And then when it comes in, it kind of drops into the the body down to your feet and into your heels, the bottom of your feet. And it kind of gets this tingling sensation as it releases down. And you open up the foot. And then the energy starts coming up again. It starts moving as an energy up into your feet, up into your belly, up into your chest, and up into a yawn, and up into a stretch, like stretched out, like a crack, like the body cracks, it kind of resets, it allows the energy to flow. Or like a burp, it kind of releases out. So that's beautiful, guys. It was a really beautiful retreat. We always go deep in this retreats, like what we are intended on, moving on and moving life, our bodies, our family, our everybody. Then suddenly you feel all these shifts afterwards in yourself or in your surroundings. Things shifts, kind of triggering a little bit. So there's some weeks of maybe a little unsettledness afterwards as people kind of are getting situated in a new way after a correction. So perfect, guys. Thank you guys so much for tuning in, or if you tune in a little bit later today or another day, please let me know. And if you are feeling this, donations are appreciated either on Norway or Venmo or PayPal or whatever you're doing. We're all giving and receiving in the beautiful way that is life. Beautiful. I will talk to you guys again soon. Have a beautiful day, guys. I'm closing YouTube first. There we are.